Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian. Good evening, South Texas amateur golfers. My name is Mike Germanuelian. Welcome to the Tour Power Hour. Guys, super excited to be here with you tonight. Lots to talk about. First and foremost, we're going to recap Cedar, talk about our winners. Another great weekend on tour, probably one of the smoothest tournaments that we've ever held, and had a lot of great golf played at Cedar. Big shout out to Cedar. We'll talk more about that. We got to talk about some open events, talk about some signups, registrations, all that good stuff. We have some big names. We have new names and we have big names on the points list change. Top 10, some new names on there. Some people we haven't seen in maybe a couple of years making their way up the board. We'll talk about that. And maybe a fun dad joke segment for you, specifically about golf. And we're going to finish up the night. If you joined us last week, you got the phrase that pays. Straka confirms that if you said Straka confirms in the comment section, you are automatically listed to have the opportunity to win a free fitting for Callaway, Paradigm, or new Callaway equipment with a $100 credit towards your purchase from our friend, professional fitter, master fitter, Chris Dingman. Getting fitted over at San Pedro. He'll hook you up. He's going to be on the show with us later when we do our live drawing. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. Before we jump into all these fun things that we need to discuss tonight, because we need to discuss them, let's go ahead and bring out some of the team. Let's start with someone that we haven't seen in what feels like a hot minute, but by God, does he look sexy tonight. Dustin Hassan, how the hell are you, brother?
South Texas Am Tour golfers, what is happening? MD, you are looking great there, might I say. Hair nice and combed. And the mustache looks mighty defined, I must say. Looking great.
Cindy hated it, but if anything, it's inspired me. And I also knew I was playing golf with Dakota Albers this weekend. Past weekend. I'm like, it'll never be. And Travis is right there saying it. Very Dakota Albers. Not even close. But I was hoping the mustache might provide some additional game for me. Happy to say it did. So yes, it's coming through. Trying to make sure it looks good before we get to Brack. But how are you doing, buddy?
I'm great. Glad to be here. It is a wonderful Tuesday night. Great event at Cedar, like you said. I mean, one of the smoothest events that I've ever been a part of. Yeah.
I got Scotty Williams just commenting in the background there. I'm just trying to give the people what they want. I mean, we are ecstatic to have you back. Carlos Noel Gomez Jr. or CJ, as we've come to call him. If you watched the show last week and you commented Straka confirms, automatically entered into the drawing that we are doing tonight. That is how you have a chance to win. Greg Graff, I appreciate the insights. I might do that just right here, get it a little bit more. But let's go ahead and bring out, some might call him the fearless leader. Someone may call him the Chipper King. Other people call him dumbass. Well, that's Sabrina. But here he is, Travis Okowski.
That's great. I love the opening content about mustaches. I love Dustin's shirt. The fit looks great.
It's a great shirt.
It's Tuesday night, everybody. We are here recapping Alt Shot. We are giving away time with Chris Dingman. What more could you want? Yes, so MD exactly hit that on the head. Last week we had a promotional giveaway for a free fitting session with master fitter Chris Dingman, and $100 credit towards your order that day of Callaway Paradigm. Or did we said Callaway, right? Inline Callaway.
Any new Callaway product.
Right.
So wedges, golf balls.
And you had to watch the podcast last week, and we said a secret phrase that you needed to comment in the comment section. And that secret phrase, the phrase that pays, as M so well, was, of course, Straka confirms. It might be my new number one used. It's a lot.
It is on my tees. It's on my golf balls.
I think my best one-liner with Straka confirms was we were on the Irish course at Kohler, behind a slow group of golfers, and about the 15th hole, I said very loudly, "Straka confirms the group in front of us is very slow." Or something along those lines. But yes,
not quite in those words.
I say Straka confirms a lot. So, MD, there were a bunch of comments. You put those comments on a big wheel, a spinning wheel that will bring Chris on the show later. Spin the wheel. Hopefully, who the name lands on is watching the show, and we'll get some good content out of this, and it'll be great. Maybe we'll even live stream the fitting.
Maybe we will. But before we do all that, we got to talk about Alt Shot at Cedar Park, or at Cedar Creek, excuse me.
Yes, like where's Cedar Park? If Cedar Creek and Brack had a baby, that's
I live
it.
In Cedar Park. I live Cedar Park, Leander in Austin, so that's where I get Cedar. We got to talk Cedar Creek. I was pretty adamant, and I made it a point. I set up the golf course on Friday, and I called Trav. So I was like, Trav, I am calling you to tell you how freaking good these greens are rolling right now. Like, I wouldn't call you if they were good, I'd have just sent you in a text like, yeah, they're fine. I rolled enough putts on them that I'm just like, all these are really nice. Like, they don't look necessarily like the best greens, but by God, they roll like the best.
I'll tell you what, I first and foremost didn't believe you when I got the first phone call. Didn't believe you. And then got some videos, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I can see what he's talking about. And then I got there on Friday afternoon to finish the setup with you, and we hit some putts, and I was like, man, it's a smoother, truer roll.
Yeah.
In the spots that are good, which is 80% of every green, maybe 85% of every green. Mm-hmm. And I think those. This is a bold statement right here. I think those have been the best greens that we've putted on since the match play at San Pedro.
I 1,000% agree. Like, that was hands down the most confident I have felt on any trail putting surface in the last 6 months. Dustin,
I agree. I think they rolled well, and I think GG, that comment you put up a GG, I totally agree with that. That pin back on number 11. Really good. Such a small spot up there. It's hard to really tell until you get up there and look. But Every spot the pins were at, they rolled well. No bumps. You got them online. They went in.
I thought it was really good. Yeah. And I love the look. I love it's summer in Texas. Maybe the fairways are a little hot in spaces. Helps you really play the bounces. I like that look. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I said this before, and I'll always say it. Cedar Creek's one of my favorite courses on the trail, and I think obviously there were a couple holes there, a couple of fairways that whatever, we kind of know what the conditions are, but for the most part, I think the course was in pretty damn good condition, and I think it made for a lot of really good golf. And again, at part of the setup committee, like Greg Graff said, we tested out and we used some different pins that we haven't seen or that we haven't seen in a long time. We gave it some new approach shots, which I think added a level of fun to the course. And the greens,
some angles using using the tee boxes down below on 10, for example. I like that.
And I think the fact, and honestly, my biggest part of how I set it up was based on the fact that the greens were rolling so well. That we could have some more fun pin positions and not have to worry about there being like really super negative reactions to it, because the greens were just rolling that good. So that was really, really cool. I thought that was a lot.
And plus, there's nothing like hitting a second shot in an alt shot tournament to a whole location like that on the top of 11. Where it's like, if you hit it good, you are a rock star.
Yep.
But the margin of error there is so thin, and the rough around the greens was quite challenging.
It definitely was. And it was, there were similar shots too. Number 12 being on the middle right, bunker guarding it. You look at number 8. 8 hasn't been in that top right position in a long time, where if you're coming up short, you might have a little bit of a putt. If you miss left, you're down the hill. And if you miss right, you're going to have to putt going back towards the hill. And there wasn't a huge gap.
The back flag stick on 6. I'm sorry, it's not 6. What hole is that now? 15?
That would be 15.
Yeah, I like it. I thought the setup committee did great. I love alt shot. I love Cedar Creek, but what I don't like are shotgun starts. And I'll tell you what, that was the best shotgun that I've ever seen operated in my entire golf career. It was, we talked about it afterwards. It was probably the smoothest operational tournament experience that we've ever put on. From Friday's setup into the notice to players, into the 110 for 112 for 112 in the morning, 112 sitting on the putting green at time of announcements,
all listening to you.
I mean, it was crazy awesome. Pace of play was great the entire tournament.
Yeah, what?
The entire alt shot tournament at Cedar Creek was off the course in under 5 hours. And we had it scored in 35 minutes.
And we had it cleaned up in like maybe an hour and 15.
I called MD and Casey afterwards, and I was like, hey, bud, can you think for 30 seconds? Is there anything we could have done better today? Like, is there anything? And it was just one of those days where it was like, man, we had a Saturday morning shotgun. We were coming off a really hot golf tournament at absolutely, shotgun is very easy for the executive starter committee. Yes, shout out Chris Dingman and executive vice president Sabrina Salkowski for the check-in at the table. I mean, that was great. But it was really cool, and I'm vocal about that. Like, I don't like shotgun starts. I think they're slower. I think it takes a little bit of the tournament. Let me rephrase that. No tournament experience, right? You still feel like you're in a tournament, but it feels a little bit more scrambly.
Yeah.
right?
That first tee shot always, unless you're going off of number one after your name's been called, it just feels a little bit different.
You're right. I love to be able to talk to everybody. I love the executive starter team being able to communicate with every golfer, right? The rule sheet, the GGIDs. Do you have any questions? And I've never had a golf field listen to opening announcements the way that field at Cedar Creek last Saturday listened to opening announcements.
You could have heard a needle drop.
It was awesome. Everybody was in it. Everybody was spoke.
Yeah.
Like I think about every year at Mission during the announcements before Monster Day, and 25% of the field is paying attention.
Yeah, there's still people on the driving range. There's still people on the putting green. There's people driving.
Usually people trying
around.
To stay warm.
I mean, it was it was crazy, and you're exactly right, Scott. We were packed up in the tour van driving
under
away.
3 o'clock, I think.
And
by
I sent the text message like I have no idea what to do right now. We should still have tee times. And Greg Graff replied in the text message thread, "Hey, my wife's out of town. What do I tell her I'm doing with a free afternoon?" or something along those lines, right? And it was just.
I mean, I took the long way home. Like I knew there was work waiting for me. I was home so early.
I mean, it was a really good tournament. Shout out to all the ambassadors. Shout out to all the tour golfers. Everyone who played in that tournament. We're going to talk about this tournament for a long time. We'll use it in training scenarios for ambassadors and things like that. Like it's now the benchmark tournament. An under 5 hour alt shotgun start on Cedar Creek, and Greg Graff, don't tell anybody, but that's what I did too. I came home and I slept in the chair for an hour and a half. No idea what to do. But that's the bar now. That one that's a number one, and thank you to all those tour golfers for being part of it, because it was really cool.
How did you do on Sunday? Part of me wanted to text you on Sunday, be like, dude, where are you? We tee off in 20 minutes. And just see if you react, because you're so used to Sundays.
You're exactly correct. 80% of our events on Sundays, right? So I do a lot of tour work in the evenings during the week, right? Doing all the website updates, all the database, the points, the handicaps, the emails, all of that good stuff, the newsletter. All that stuff takes some time. And I casually went about Sunday checking stuff off the checklist, and when it really hit home was yesterday afternoon at about 6:30, when normally I'm laying out tour stuff to do for the week, and it's like the only thing on the tour bulletin this week is podcasts. And I looked around and I'm like, hon, I think I got a night off. What's going on? Yes, it was awesome. So I'm the first one to say I don't like shotguns, but that was a really cool event at Cedar Creek, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, let's talk about results. Let's talk about our winners from this weekend. As you guys know, alt shot. This is, you have to know your partner. It's about two people continuously hitting good shots, or at least being able to hit some good bounce back shots, and staying in the fairway, staying in play. Birdies are tough, pars are amazing, and our winners this weekend played some really great golf, and even the people that didn't win but got super close were playing some really, really strong golf. From a partnership standpoint, so really cool to see. But let's talk about our winners. DH, do you want to?
Yeah, let's roll through it. You want to start chant flight?
Let's start with chant flight.
I love it, chant flight. Let's start on the gross side. Meaning, this team. I think we owe it to say they were the only team to shoot under par in the tournament. This twosome, they play a lot of golf together, especially in these two mans. They know each other's game. Sean Vidal and Dustin Weldon, 4 under 68. Really good performance there from those two guys. So
stellar.
That's low. Four under alt shot. I mean, that's low.
Yeah, and he ran away with it. Really ran away with it.
2 bogeys. Yep. 2 bogeys as well.
With 2 bogeys.
2 bogeys and an eagle.
I mean, 2 people know each other's games. It's these two right
playing together for years. You guys know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and you guys just kind of have that kind of connection. So shout out to them.
Great win for Sean. Got him in the top 10. Moved him up in the top 10 in the point standings. So yeah, great win for Sean. So, Dustin's playing great right now.
Yes, he is.
Watch Dustin Weldon. That's a name to watch out for as 3 of the next 4 events are stroke play events. Let's pay attention. Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on. Let's
guys
talk about
on the net side. We got our own the Jasons, Jason Bird and Jason Sandoval. 2-shot victory on the net side over Micah Carroll, Michael Freeman Jr. There they are. Bird on the left, Sando on the right. Really good playing there, those two. Good to see Bird back in the winner's circle. Bird getting a cookie. Is this his first cookie or just his?
No, this is he. So he had his first win a couple of weeks ago at Mission. Not at Mission, at Northern Hills.
Correct.
He broke.
Yes, he won at Northern Hills for the first time in 1,700 days or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I should have gone back and checked, now that I'm thinking about it, how long it's been since his last partner win. His last partner win was in 2021 with me. I should have checked to see when his last partner win was, I believe, how long ago that was. But yes, the Sandoval and the Bird.
Good showing there by those two. A squad, as they say. So
the A squad.
Moving right along, we'll move it into First Flight. First Flight Gross, these two guys play together a lot. Dennis Danowski and Jonathan Harder. 4-shot victory, plus 274. Pretty good showing there. Really good scoring there. Cedar Creek again is not an easy course. It's even harder when you're playing alt shot. Some good pin placements out there. Plus 2 First Flight Gross winner. Pretty damn good score.
I mean, that is a good score. 4 clear of second place, and what would they have been? 5 clear on the net side. I mean, that's great playing. Keep the ball in play. Get it close, make a couple putts, get going, especially for dudes who play together a lot. A great win, Double D and Jonathan Harder. It's awesome.
Yep. And moving right along on the net side, our buddy, our own MD, I Love Alt Shot, and Jason Cross. Good job there. This is MD's 2nd win in a row, I believe. Is that correct? 2nd cookie in a row?
That is correct.
I would like to just comment right now.
Yes.
That this may be the only time in a photo when Jason Cross is the tall dude in it. He's towering over MD in this photo right now.
Yeah, he's got a couple inches
towering, and MD's like on his tiptoes.
Yeah, MD's raised up.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. Yes, he is for sure. Congratulations, buddy. I know you're playing good golf right now. This win gets you up into the top 10. I think we'll talk about point standings in a minute, but great win. You're playing good.
I've been talking too much shit about how much I love Cedar and alt shot. We needed to put on a show.
Where your mouth was. Yep. Good job, guys. Moving right along, Second Flight, Gross. Now this was our first and only scorecard playoff of the day. Plus 7. Chuck Rosales and Sean Wolf over David Dukes and Joseph Sitterly there. The very first playoff hole. Birdie on 6 there. So
dang, that's a good birdie too.
Really, usually we're talking playoff, scorecard playoff after scorecard playoff. So I thought that was really interesting.
Especially in this format, it's very easy to get in the tie because it really is about nestling for pars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do want to say, Travis called it out. I love the shirts here. Like, Sean Wolf in the bucket hat has become a staple on tour now. I love it. Well,
I love it. And Chuck Rosales' hair is perfect. Like, not a hair is out of place after 5 hours of alt shot. And then I made this comment to MD right when we were doing pregame warm-ups. And I'm like, man, it looks like Chuck's shirt just continues and the gradient goes right into the cookie label.
Yep.
And it's just like perfect, dressed to impress. And it's all about the cookie
both
mafia.
teams wearing stripes and striping the ball.
The best team by par goes with our dad jokes theme for later. I couldn't find a ton of golf-related dad jokes, but I think I've got some good ones. I think
we'll have some dad jokes that you cannot. The goal is to not laugh when they're said.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm so bad. I'm gonna turn my camera off and put on sunglasses and still laugh.
Well, that's good.
All
like
right,
I said, our
on.
only scorecard playoff. Yeah, really good job there, guys. So on the net side, 2-shot victory, -10 on the net side. Joshua Jordan and Kyle Young, second flight net. Really good win. There they are there. Kyle there in the yellow, Josh there in the green. So really good showing there. 2-shot win over CJ and Jeremy Semlinger. So new team there I saw for maybe the first time. So rolling right along, MD. We'll go right into the third flight. It looks like it was the Medinas that took it over the graphs. Medinas, Roy and Roy, +10, 82. I was talking to Roy after, and I said, "Boy, how, does it get old collecting cookies?" And he told me, this is first gross cookie, which I found hard to believe. So congratulating him for that. Really good job there.
It's got to be, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody winning cookies ever, because winning cookies is tough to do on tour.
Right, sure is.
But is there what's the difference like? And this is a great question, and we've never talked about this. What's the difference like winning a gross cookie versus winning a net cookie? Is there an emotional difference there?
It's like 10 points sweeter.
Okay, so just based by the fact, cookie, listen, you won your flight, it don't matter. There's 2 divisions, equity across the flights. That's what it's there for. That's why.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. That's perfectly a great company answer. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, so good job, Medinas. Keep collecting cookies. Well, that's just all they do, collecting cookies.
Yes, it is.
And on the net side, Ed Mitchell and Joe Workman, -10, 62. There they are. Joe on the left, Ed on the right. Really good job there.
Wearing his third flight great shirt.
Third flight great shirt. I noticed that Ed Mitchell is wearing a single calf sleeve. Is that a subtle paying tribute to the 2019 Mission Del Lago Jonathan Aiken, Michael Freeman story?
I think so. That very well could be paying homage to Jonathan Aiken. Could not be in the field with us at Cedar. He was with us in spirit there with Ed.
Oh, I love it. I think that's so good. That's a story for another podcast.
Yeah. Congratulations to all our winners. Really good playing. Cedar Creek, anytime you come out with a cookie at Cedar, you've done a damn good job. So congratulations.
Tour cookies are never gross. Dad joke, Greg Keogh. Oh, look at that pose right there. That's the baths at Black Wolf Run.
It's
GQ.
Just
GK equals GQ.
Let's
congratulations to all those flight winners. I know I got sidetracked there a little bit. Great playing. Cedar Creek alt shot. Dustin's absolutely right. You win a cookie, your picture's on this podcast, you played great. End of discussion.
Yep, absolutely. Let's talk about our top 10. Had a lot of moves in the top 10.
Lots this week. Yeah.
Let's look at some names.
I love this top 10. I called MD right away and I said, I love in this top 10. I love Las Gonzalez in first place alongside Roy Medina at tied for 1. We're missing a column there, but the math is correct. We're not seeing the Cedar column. But
I don't know why.
I don't know either. But the math is correct on the right-hand side. Yes, I'm sorry. The math is correct. Dustin, the math's correct, right?
Yeah. We're just missing a column. We're
Just missing the column. Okay.
Just missing the
All
column.
right. So we've got Laz and Roy in T1, both moving up. Charles Clark rounds out the top 3, falling from the number 1 spot last week. Dakota Elbers and Sean Vidal, T4. And then there it is, the hostess with the mostest, MD Mike Dermanuelian, in there at solo 6, up 6 spots. 2 at T7, Ambassador Greg Graff, part of the executive starting committee, alongside team member and 2023 Player of the Year frontrunner Willie Nichols. Trace Davis in 9, and look at that, we've got 11 people on our graphic tonight. I love when that happens. BG Bradley Gilbert alongside Dustin Weldon round out your top 10.
And Jason Bird only 5 points off that T10 spot in 11th.
Jason Bird sniffing the top 10.
I think it's great.
Good job, Jay Bird. Yeah.
I love when ambassadors play well, because it shows just a little bit of their dedication and their work ethic and their practice ethic and how much it means to them. It pays off a little bit when you see Sean Vidal and MD and Greg Graff and Jason Bird just outside, and I think it's really cool. I'm super happy for you guys, and I love this top 10. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep the camera off a little bit. I got a bad internet connection tonight, and this seems to be less laggy on my end. Is this okay?
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
But I love that top 10. I love it. I love the mix of champ flighters and handicap golfers there. I love the mix of veterans with a bunch of, maybe I've been on the team once or twice, but I mean, Laz, Roy, Charles, and Dakota would all be rookies on the team if it ended right now. MD is captained. Sean is, of course, Sean. He's been on everyone except one. Dustin's been on a couple teams. Trace was on the team last year with Willie. Greg, of course, has been on teams. And I think Brad Gilbert would be a rookie. So 50% first-timers in the top 10 right there.
Pretty cool.
I love this list.
Yeah.
This list is going to be a storyline as the summer progresses.
Yeah, we are 4 events in on a 9-event season. So we are just shy of halfway there, and the next couple of events are going to be individual stroke play. This is where we're going to start to see some separation. This is where we're going to start to see those names change again.
And I misspoke a second ago. I said 3 of the 4 next events. I could have went one more. It's 4 of the next 5 events are stroke play events. This schedule is great.
We have Brack, we have Willow, we have stroke play at Cedar, and then we have our 2-day at Northern.
Any of those individual double point events, Trav?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So August 6th, open for registration currently. Stroke play, Brackenridge Park, standard points. Really excited to go back to Brack for a 1-day stroke play event. That doesn't happen a lot.
Not much.
And I like that.
I love
it's
Brack.
Fun. Back to a Sunday tea time event. And then Sunday, August 20th, double points stroke play. The tour returns to Willow Springs.
Yeah. I think that's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be great. Positive Brackenridge Park report from GT.
Love hearing that.
That is great news. And then Saturday, this is our last partner event. We've got best ball, 2-person best ball at Mission Del Lago. That should open for registration very soon. Pay attention to a starting time release on that one. And then MD's right. We go back to Cedar Creek for a 1-day stroke play event, which also doesn't happen very often.
It does
And
not.
then,
I love
and then
it.
we've got that. To answer Dustin's question, that is also double points. So we have three. Oh my goodness, we've got standard points at Brack, double at Willow, double at Mission, double at Cedar, and then the standard championship points, which is double in the flight, but triple overall. So there are a ton of points available still.
There's a
Good,
ton
lot
of
of
points
points
available, and there are going to be two events in this lineup that I think are going to be really challenging. One being Willow, because let's face it, we haven't touched Willow in forever. It's one of those.
Right.
We're at the
Exactly right.
point now where, Mission del Lago used to be the golf course where it's like, shit, I got to go get a practice round. I don't play there ever. I got to go get it. Now we're all kind of comfortable rolling into Mission and going out and playing. Willow
I think double points at Willow is going to sell out fast.
Willow is going to be huge. Willow is going to be huge because of double points and just the fact that that course hasn't been seen in so long. There may be some people out there who have been getting close to a win that just course hasn't suited their eye yet or just hasn't felt right. I mean, there's some cool opportunities to pull off some interesting wins at Willow. I love Willow. That course always set up really well for me. I always personally like that course. But then you go to Cedar. Individual stroke play at Cedar, double points.
Love it. Love
that.
That's great.
And with the Cedar event being the last event before we go into the 2-day at Northern is going to be really, really big. I mean, pay attention to the top 10 right now. And I mean, I will be interested to cycle back to where were we today versus where we are before we go into the playoffs in the top 10 list.
You're exactly correct. Let's get through. I mean, let's even get through these two stroke play events, and then we'll compare and contrast these top 10s.
I mean, let's just really quick look. Give me 1 second here. Let me get that comment out of the way. I mean, honestly, if you go look right now, even just in the, your top 6. I mean, you are just separated by 45 points. I mean, that is literally.
I mean, if we put in, if you said Birds at 12, at 70, that's 80 points away. That's 4 places in one flight in double points Willow. 4 places. Yep. That's it. 4 places in one event of one flight separate the top 12 golfers.
I mean, it's going to awesome. Be. It's going to be tight, and I kind of want to go back and look at some of our previous seasons to just kind of see where the points were at and where that was kind of spaced out. If all it really is going to take here, 2 or 3 of these names winning the next event or next 2 events, something like that, you can start to pull away. But there are plenty of names on that list that you don't see. A solid win, I mean, is going to jettison them. I mean, I got, I'm back-to-back wins. Going into Mission, I was in 72nd place. I mean, and now I jumped 66 spots in 2 events. And that's
I think there's a bunch of people in the next 10, like 12 through 23, that are playing good golf. Ruben Ramirez, really golf. Steven Evans, Sean Wolf, Morgan is there, Chuck Rosales, Kevin Davidson.
Yep.
I will say Dustin Hassan is in that next 10 as well.
Yep.
I think, and if we look at the next 10, 12th through 23rd is also only separated by 70 points. So I think this is going to be a great storyline down the stretch.
I think
the next 2 months.
And I think the other big piece of it that we aren't talking about necessarily is who's managing the heat the best. I think the people that are able to not only the people who are playing good golf, but the people who can have the heat management on the golf course.
You're talking about the temperature. I thought you were talking about bringing the heat. Like I thought that was going to go a different way.
Yeah, we're
NBA.
like who's bringing the heat? Oh,
who's bringing the heat? Oh. No, it's it's who's going out and who's it's tough to go out there and say like, oh, I can survive in this weather, but like,
who can thrive in it? Yes, who can be hydrated enough?
Like my
not
whole thing
be
is like
fatigue down the stretch.
Like I go hit golf balls at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Ability. I think that's great. His mental game's solid. It's not even that hot. I mean, come on. Like I wore pants on Saturday, guys. Come on.
It's not even like that.
I go hit golf balls at 2:00 at 3:00 in the afternoon, and I'll hit like 3 buckets just to get a good sweat going and be like, can I mentally stay in my zone here? Like I think if you can get out there and adjust yourself to the heat and kind of know how your body's going to react down the stretch and, be prepared and not just for the sake of just your own health, making sure that you're staying hydrated and that you're doing all that stuff to be safe, but just, knowing how your body's going to react to the heat as you go throughout the day is critical.
As long as we're talking about schedules down the rest of the year, it is public knowledge now that round 1 and round 2 of the STX Am Tour 23 playoffs will be held at Northern Hills Golf Course.
So we are going to have back-to-back 2-day weekends at Northern Hills. We'll have the 2-day tour event to close out the summer season, and we'll
that's at Almost. That's at Almost.
Oh, that's right.
PC Open at Almost. Then we have a weekend off. And then October 14th and 15th at Northern Hills. And then coming right back the next weekend, what would that be, the 21st and 22nd at Brackenridge Park for the Tour Championship.
I mean, it's amazing how quick it's going to come up. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm really excited for 2 days at Northern Hills. I think that's going to be really fun.
I think that Northern Hills is one of my favorite places to host an event. I love the driving range feel. I love and this is a compliment. I love the 70s and 80s country club feel. Like, I love that little.
I love the wood paneling.
Yes, like at some point that was the place to be. Like I love that.
It's like you're in the Brady Bunch house.
Yeah, I love exactly correct. Yes, I love it.
You cannot accomplish Pro Shot Poison in any other facility like you can at Northern Hills.
Northern Hills Pro Shot Poison, the best facility, and it's not close.
That is the best Pro Shot Poison track. For sure.
We can definitely give a rundown and a tutorial on Pro Shot Poison on a later podcast. But Pro Shot Poison is a great game. If you've ever been a golf shop employee, you know exactly what Pro Shot Poison is. And there is nothing like Pro Shot Poison at Northern Hills. I think it's great. Yes, and it's not close.
Pro Shot Poison Tour coming 2024.
Yes.
A division.
No point standings. Oh my gosh.
Pro Shot Poison division.
Oh my goodness. I love scoring at Northern Hills. I love the 19th hole. Yeah. I love coming through the tunnel after 18 to seeing the scoreboards on the glass. I really like that. I love Northern Hills, and I'm glad it was our tour committee's number one course of choice for selection for the playoffs when we found out that Riverside wasn't quite going to be ready.
Yeah. But I am excited that we'll go out. I don't know if you guys remember, one of our first videos that we ever did together, Trav, actually it was the first video we did, was to celebrate the opening of Willow and go check out the track. And we got to go out there and video, play a couple of holes, but walk through the course and all the things.
Again, I think MD's talking about almost basin.
Yeah,
I think so.
God bless America.
I think so. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
As the ratings plummet.
I'm looking forward to going to Riverside and
Let's just start over.
Our
first video ever was recapping the opening of Almost Basin after the renovation. And we are definitely going to do the same thing at Riverside coming up.
Riverside. I was going to say River Crossing or something. the river course. But yes, we'll definitely be out at Riverside at some point later in the year, and hopefully get a video out to you guys to kind of see some of the updates if you're not following the trail. It's looking pretty cool. Like, I'm pretty excited to see it, and looking forward to.
Yes, I think the heat's bothering you as well. Your heat
if
game,
it makes,
it's,
honestly, I'm just stupid. Like,
that's okay. There's a lot going on, and I'll tell you what, it's difficult when it's difficult. There's a lot going on. There's tons of
tons of shit, man.
Yeah, tons of stimulant going on. I mean, there's calendars and schedules and points and recap, and everybody watching, let's not forget that MD's also producing this live podcast at the same time. There's a dashboard there going on there. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and he does a great job. But that is back to back course errors, the same golf course in 10 seconds. I mean, that's
great. I don't have any excuse. Like, I am just stupid. Like, I wish I had a better excuse. Like, I just don't.
Thanks everybody for bearing with our bullshit tonight, I guess.
That's accurate. Thank you, CJ. That's a true statement. No one can touch me.
You know what? And that's one of those compliments where, MD sits in his closet just saying to himself, I hope somebody makes that comment.
Just look at all my shirts and my shoes, and I'm just like,
CJ, you have no idea how much that comment meant to MD right there.
I had our VP out in the field with me last week, and I told him he could throw his backpack in the bed of my truck before we went into this meeting. And I opened it up, and he looks and he goes, "Are those all your golf shoes?" And I got probably like 25 pairs of shoes in there.
These are the slappy shoes in the bed of the truck that he doesn't care about, right?
It's like, I mean, I have like maybe 10 pairs of Jordans in there. I have a couple of G4s. I have some FootJoys. Like, I have all sorts of shoes.
There's $5,000 in shoes in the bed of his truck.
And my boss goes like, "Are those all for golf?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, what do you need those for?" I was like, "Well, I got to have something to match what I'm wearing that day."
Play good.
I am elevated. I like to think of myself as a refined Doug Calkins.
I'm gonna let that go. I think I don't want that to come back and bite me later. I'm putting well right
now. But yeah, no, I mean, I love shoes for days. Confidence.
I also have like 10 or 12 pairs, but I wear one pair all the time.
You only wear the one G4 pair.
I wear the one white skull embossed G4 pair. That's it. Yep. I have tons of shoes that would go with tons of outfits, like red bottoms, mint bottoms, blue camo bottoms, and I just always wear the same pair of shoes.
I made the switch. I switched from a pair of Jordans to a pair of G4s like 20 minutes before I teed off at Mission, because I'm like, these match with my pink pants better.
And you know what? It's not like they're more comfortable, because I wear the same 8 Band-Aids that I wear with those shoes that I wear with any other pair of golf shoes. But for whatever reason, I always wear those shoes.
The only pair that I have yet to really unveil are a sick pair of New Balances.
The Velcro ones with the arch support.
That is accurate. That is the dad shoe. I did see someone made some Crocs into golf shoes too.
Yes.
Steve. You Steven Robert. This is his burner account.
No, he has normal size feet. He's like a
That's why I
hobbit.
had so many.
He's like a hobbit. He's just short, but his feet are normal.
First off, I wear a size 11. Scotty Williams, I switched to graphite shafts a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So I'm already
that's all me, buddy. I love them graphite shafts.
Yep, I switched to graphite a while ago, so I'm already.
He has a different brand name though. He didn't go with the brand name that I recommended.
I did not, but I mean, still, mine are considered one of the better graphite shafts out there. You got some. I mean, I love the recoil. I think there's.
Yes, I think ours are 1 and 2, right? Recoil and steel fiber, right? 1 and 2, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Steel fiber just kind of fit my game the best. I had a set of MMTs, I had a set of recoils, and I had a set of steel fibers. Steel fibers won out.
It's all about, if we're talking about getting old, right? I'm assuming that's what Scott Williams' comments referencing there.
With the New Balance shoes.
The New Balance shoes, the blatant dementia that was experienced just a little bit ago from you on the almost amazing thing.
Blatant.
It's all the getting old reference for me is 2 things. It's the second hybrid in the bag, when the second hybrid goes in the bag, and iron covers. When those 2 things, right? That's the definition for me, right? The second hybrid for real. The second hybrid for real.
I'm not
listen, I don't feel bad at all about dumping 3 iron. Like, I don't feel bad at all. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's the second hybrid. It's like when you dump the 4 iron and cave. That's when it's over.
I do want to call out Jeremy Semlinger's comment below. We're talking about graphite shafts. The Axiom shafts, which are the Fujikara shaft based off of Ventus, are the new graphite iron shafts.
I once asked Ben if he could just tip Ventus shafts for my irons.
Now you have the
Axiom shafts. $5,000 irons.
Well, that's essentially what I mean. The recoils aren't terribly expensive. They're still expensive.
Scott Williams, to answer your question, I don't think a 7-wood counts as a second hybrid.
It does not.
However, if the same thing applies if you're over 3 woods, right? If you have 1, 3, 5, 7, that's the same thing for me, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 1, 4, 7,
if you have 4 woods
3,
in your bag,
7, yeah, I agree completely.
I think 4 woods and over is senior.
Yeah, greater than 3. Yeah, yes. Greater than 3.
But since we are talking a little bit about, I know we jumped kind of all around here. We're talking about iron shafts. We're talking about some other stuff getting old and whatever.
I think it's a great segue.
I think that this is a fantastic segue to bring in our friend, Master Fitter, Chris Dingman. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Dingman.
What's up, Dingman? Dingy does fitting. Dingman, run through your contact information. If viewers want to book a fitting with you, give us a little bit of info about your background, where you do your fittings, and how they can get you.
Yep. So I started doing fittings when I worked for Travis at San Pedro. And
thanks for the plug. You didn't have to do that, but that's okay.
2017 when they reopened. Quickly after that, I got on staff with Callaway and became an employee with Callaway. So I've been Callaway for the last 7 years. Master certified fitter through them, through a bunch of different brands as well. I do all fittings at San Pedro driving range in Par 3. It's a cool place because I can fit somebody at 5 p.m. or I can fit somebody at 11 p.m. and the lights are still on and people can still hit golf balls.
Woo, that's awesome. I love it. And you've got the simulator there and you've got a quad, right? Okay. You got a quad to back it up?
I've got the Sam's
which is my favorite piece of equipment. I think that optical is the best.
Sam's putting lab, GC quad, and simulator. The cool part about San Pedro is you can go get fit at Golf Galaxy, Golf Tech, but you're never going to actually see it on real grass. San Pedro, we can fit it inside and confirm it with flight outside.
You can take the chart right from the simulator right to outside. I think that's such a cool component. And then you can place the order with you right there. And
so I take care of all that with a follow-up email. So you'll get an email. It's more like a price quote. And so I send it over and it has everything broken down from driver irons, fairway woods, if we're going to do a trade-in, if we're going to add a discount on there, or anything like that, that's all going to be taken care of there. So you'll actually see it. A lot of us go home to significant others who are approval or disapproval. And so they actually go home with something that they can actually look at and provide to them. Be like, all right, this is how much I'm actually going to spend, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing.
I know, it's so
in
weird.
there.
Chris is growing up, but it's great.
I know it's kind of weird.
I know, it's amazing.
So don't say
I love it.
So, but yeah, so anything. So my whole idea with this vision, one day I woke up and I actually called Andrew Peterson, the CEO of the Alma City Golf Trail, president CEO. I said, hey, I want to bring Carlsbad headquarter fittings to San Antonio. And so that was my whole idea with it, was bringing that kind of feel and everything, one-on-one time, one-on-one fitting, whether it's an hour, whether you're looking for 2 hours, to where it's just me and somebody else just spending that time going through the numbers, talking about what I look for as a fitter, between spin rates, ball speed, efficiency, smash factor, what can we do to swing the club faster and get it jumping off the face a little bit easier.
And get some pretty convincing feedback right away, right?
Absolutely.
What driver you're playing right now versus new fit technology, you get some instant feedback, and golf is such not an instant feedback sport. And I just think that's one of those unique components where you can provide that data that shows the gain right away.
And I will, I can say this too, Justin. I played with Justin this weekend when they were playing in their alt shot. And this is the first year I've actually fit myself in my own clubs. And I will say that I'm probably 5 strokes better. And
just bombing paradigm. I love it.
Consistent. I mean, I was keeping up with Dustin and Casey all on.
You were keeping up with Dustin?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, bombing it past Dustin. Okay, we're bombing it past
He'd get me on one hole, and then I would get him, and I'd be like, hey, somebody's a little bit closer. So, I mean,
based on what you saw, what does Dustin need?
What's that?
Based on what you saw, how can we fit Dustin and get him out of
something a little bit
his
faster,
janky old Titleist?
Maybe something that
tailor-made sim 2. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Keep
Titleist
open a little bit longer, because we fight that tendency of the left pull. And I mean, Casey's playing paradigm, but also plays a really spinny head for his club speed. He's a triple diamond guy all day, because he spins it off the charts, especially when he does his 100-mile-an-hour recoil on every shot that Trav is pending and everything. So I mean, that's just what it is. And not only driver and club fittings, ball fitting, putter fitting, wedges, irons, fairway woods, hybrids. If I didn't have an ego problem, I would play a full bag of hybrids all the way down to the 8 hybrid, because their money.
We were just talking about that.
I was listening to it.
We were just talking about that.
So, but everything all the way down I can do. I'm here for the customer. I just really want to be able to give them the experience on top of a really good club fitting. Said I've been doing it for the last 7 years, and it's the only really thing relative to golf that I do nowadays. I don't work a pro shop anymore. I don't do any of that. I do clinics and fittings for the most part nowadays. And that's just what it is. I've always been a huge proponent and supporter of the tour, even when it was a different name, because it just brings every aspect of every player, right? So you have your champ flight guys, and you have guys that are 20 plus, but can go out there and compete and have a good time. And you don't have to worry about, I love the flight. I never, in working for Trav and doing all the tour stuff, I never thought that we would get to as many flights as we have nowadays. And that is just awesome, because it just brings everybody together and playing. Well, Danny, let's get it set up. I send you messages all the time, because I guess my phone
That's
does.
a great segue. That's a great segue, Christopher. How do the viewers watching get a hold of you? Can they call San Pedro and get your book?
So it's all online. My schedule's online, or they can email at dingydoesfittings@gmail.com, and we'll put it in the chat box here. I don't know does this chat go to everybody?
It does, yeah.
Oh, I don't have a chat box on here. I just have a private chat.
It would be swipe right on that private chat versus comments.
Okay, and we'll put it in there. And
There it is. Look at that. Look at MD putting it on a
so
banner.
it's DINGY. Dingy
Yeah,
does
let me
fitting
edit it.
on there.
Yeah.
We'll send me an email. We'll get it set up. I'll give you a phone call. We'll kind of work it. Like I said, that's the cool part about San Pedro.
Dingy does fitting, available for fittings all day long at Olmos Basin. No, just kidding. It's San Pedro. Come on, that was a good MD joke there.
San Pedro. And like I said, cool part, we can do a fitting at 10 p.m. We can do a fitting at 10 a.m. Doesn't matter.
Dingy does fittings.
Either or, but yeah, anybody's looking for anything, I'd love to help you guys out. So which brings us to
first and foremost, thank you for doing this for us. We are going to now roll the dice. We're gonna spin the wheel of fortune to see who is going to win a free fitting with Chris and $100 towards any new Callaway line product.
Right at an hour time mark. I mean, this is fantastic. I hope everybody's watching. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm
going to.
Oh my gosh! Look at the people that got it correct. Oh my goodness, we've got Steven Evans, Kevin Keeney, Chris Arnold, Jeff Warren, Tim Smith, Charles Clark, Jeremy Jaramillo. I believe that's Greg Keogh. Joe Workman, Jeremy Semlinger, and Scott Williams. I know a couple guys on that list are watching. So that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with the correct phrase that pays. I think we got pretty obvious with that phrase at the end of the night.
I think we were pretty. And now we're gonna spin the wheel and see who's gonna get hooked up with some of the equipment. Arguably, Paradigm's the most winning equipment on tour right now.
I think that's fact. I think Paradigm is the most winning driver on tour. I think that would be cool to start getting what's in the bag from our winners. I think that'd be great too.
Yeah, this is the first year that the tour back numbers are showing such high improvement on the product.
I mean, that driver is the best thing to ever happen to my bag, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely talking about this tour, right? The only tour that matters, the STX Am Tour.
True.
But let's go ahead here and spin the wheel. I have set this wheel to spin just a little bit longer.
I was gonna hope that's the case. Can we talk over it for like a minute or two? Like, this is great.
I you know what? Give me 1 second here. Let's customize it. We'll make the adjustment here. I'm gonna give
live on the air adjustments. I love it.
A full 60-second spin.
Oh my goodness! I love it.
This is what you guys were waiting for. This is why we have the viewers we have right now, and the game is on.
Oh my gosh! It's going to spin for an hour. This is going to seem like the longest minute.
Yes, it is.
It's like you roll up to the tee box and I say we're going to wait for 4 minutes. And if
you have if you're susceptible to seizures, anything like that.
Oh my goodness! There needs to be.
It looks like it wants to slow down, and I believe it's going to just continue
down.
I don't think it's going to go all the way.
I thought it was going to stop.
I think it's going to be. I'm going to pick Joe Workman. I think it's going to be Joe Workman.
We still got like 30 more seconds.
I think so, right? I have no idea. It's going awful slow, I think. Oh, is it done?
Seconds.
Is it done? Oh my goodness!
Good. No.
Oh, that's where it's going to be.
It can't get out of Tim Smith in the next 10 seconds.
No chance it can get out of Tim Smith. Tim Smith, everybody.
Congrats.
We have a winner.
Wow. Congratulations.
Is he watching?
He's not watching.
Tim Smith won. I'm sorry. That was a lot. Wow.
Charles Clark, if he was here watching, was probably like,
oh yeah.
And then, why is it still moving? Why is it still moving?
The physics model on this wheel is terrible. That also is the same wheel we use for the match play selection show. So, yes, stay tuned for that next February.
And then your next event is BRAC, right?
Yeah, Brackenridge Park, August 6th, open for registration.
Played there yesterday. It's in good shape.
Good. That's awesome.
Really good to hear.
Really good shape. Just like everywhere else, the greens are a little bit hairier because they can't burn them out. But I mean, other than that, everything was
health over speed now, right?
Yep.
Health of
100%.
turf grass over speed for sure. 100%.
And but it's in. I mean, there's grass everywhere. There's sand in the bunkers, and I mean, it's kind of what you expect out of BRAC. It's in really good shape. I played there at 12:30 in the afternoon yesterday. Almost died a couple times.
Brutal.
It was the only open tee time that they had.
Hydrate.
Yeah. So
hydrate.
Well, I'll get Tim's contact from you guys, and then I'll reach out to him, and we'll get him going.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Tim Smith, our Callaway fitting winner, with Chris Dingman, Master Callaway Golf Fitter at San Pedro Driving Range in Par 3. Chris, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Any last words from you, sir, before we get Tim Smith in contact with you and we chug forward?
Just like always, it's been a pleasure, and anything I can do to support, the tour and everything, I'm here for. So anybody who's looking to get fit for anything, come on by. We'll get you all set up.
It sounds cliche when we say it all the time. If you're not properly fit, you're leaving yards out there.
20 yards on average off the driver, off the top end of your is what they were all saying. And
Greg Graff, I believe that is still an in-line item on the Callaway lineup.
We'll get it.
Trav
sold us out of them when he was running up the trails.
You could order a 35-inch counterbalanced Odyssey tank chipper.
I want a chipper with an axiom wedge, with an axiom shaft, and a super stroke grip.
That exact chipper will be in my golf bag until I can no longer walk. I mean, it is the lore of that chipper is.
I mean, that chipper is going to end up in a case.
I mean, I told Sabrina several weeks ago that I want a chipper graphic on my tombstone.
Dude, what needs to happen is that thing needs to be like encased and like displayed at the South Texas PGA Hall of Fame or something.
It's definitely a cool golf club. I hit some cool shots with it, and it produces tons of awesome.
Right next to Michael Block's 8-iron in the PGA of America Hall of Fame.
Oh my goodness.
Chipper
does not equal extra hybrid. That is not. It's a wedge.
Confirms
it's a wedge. Straka confirms it's a wedge.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. Appreciate what you did here in making sure that we're continuing to get people in Callaway and continuing to
partnership, buddy.
To give our tour and give our amazing players this opportunity. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. I'll be listening in.
Thanks, Dingman. Enjoy playing with you on Sunday, man. You too.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
For real, Paradigm Callaway 2023, legit.
It is hands down. I mean, it's. I was talking to Dingman about some of the stuff that's coming out for Callaway later this year and next year. I'm really the new Apex stuff hasn't been officially announced yet, but that's coming down the pipeline and it looks sick. But the Paradigm
does look sick. That combo set looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, some of those combo set photos leaked really early on. Oh, they look sexy.
Yeah. But the Paradigm Woods, anyone who knows me knows that the worst part of my game was a driver. Obviously I spent a lot of time practicing and working on it, but the Paradigm driver is hands down the best driver I've ever hit. And it will be forever, like, out of the things that I change and the stuff that I change out and swap shit out all the time, that driver is going to hang around, I think.
Until
they come out with another Paradigm.
I added 20 doing
Yeah.
nothing with Paradigm Driver. I love it. I think it's great. I also love the fairway metal.
I love my
And-
5-wood. I think that thing
And
is
the
absolutely
hybrid,
smoke.
I think I hit the hybrid the best. I definitely have the most gain with the driver, but I hit the hybrid the best of the family.
Yep. And again, I think the other big piece of this, and this is where Chris comes in big time, is in the fitting piece of it. There's some of us that are, I come from a background of club fitting and doing that kind of stuff. Travis has a background in doing that. We can kind of sit there and we know how to manipulate our clubs to do kind of things that we want them to do in the fitting process with the driver. You and I, when we were in Mississippi, I wasn't hitting my driver bad, but we made 2 adjustments to my driver in loft and where we shifted some weight, and it automatically was like, okay, well, that's 10 yards
It's
straighter
not,
and 12 yards further.
It's a common cliche for instructors to say, oh, it's not the equipment, right? It's always the golfer. It's always the swing. It's always the swing. It's always...
The adjustable clubs are here to be built around the swing.
Yes, exactly correct. And sometimes you're swinging good and the ball isn't reacting right off the club face, and you could make 1 or 2 adjustments pre-round, of course.
Re-round.
And start producing ball flight. And I went up a degree or 2 in loft and dropped 500 spin on a loft upgrade. I love launching the ball high. I love launching the ball high, as high as I possibly can with as low spin as possible. Like, that's my recipe. And
that combo for you with the Ventus blue, weight up front, lofted a little bit, and
like 16-degree launch angle, like 2,300 spin. Like, that's what I want. Like, just the ball in the air as long as possible.
And then the left dash just adds the extra yardage.
Yes.
It's freaking deadly. So Tim will take advantage of that fitting. Danny, go get fitted. I know Danny's been working on his swing a lot. I've seen him post some videos of some progress he's made, and swing's looking really sharp. And it getting fitted is going to be elevating your game to the next level, and just continue to build on your consistencies. Which, again, get fitted every chance you get whenever you get new clubs, whether it is a putter, wedge, irons, fairway woods, everything. Get fitted. That is going to put strokes back in your bag. So, Travis, did you want to give us? I will give you one. I will give you one. I will use one. DH, I don't know if you have a dad joke prepared. But I do.
I could throw out a pretty corny dad joke.
I definitely don't have a golf one prepared.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't have a golf one prepared.
I have a couple. I'll just get in the groove. Let me put on sunglasses. Okay. Dustin, you want to lead us off?
How did the penguin build his house?
How did the penguin build an ice sculpture? Don't know.
It glued it together.
Okay.
It together.
Okay. It was good. It was good.
Okay.
I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
Yeah. I recently went to a really beautiful wedding. It was so beautiful, even the cake was in tears.
Okay. All right. Did you hear about the kidnapping at the park? He woke up.
Out of curiosity, if I were to witness a robbery at the Apple store, would that make me an eyewitness?
Oh, that's the best one, I think. Dustin had to leave to keep himself from laughing. I think that's the best one so far. Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Best in his field.
Outstanding in his field.
Oh, God, close.
Yes.
Yes. I went out to dinner with Cindy the other night. The waiter asked me if I wanted a box for my food. I told him I really didn't want to fight.
Man, that's good too. That's good too. What do you call fake spaghetti? An impasta.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Why did the golfer bring an extra pair of socks along to the golf course?
Ooh, I do not know.
In case he got a hole in one.
Okay. I like that one. That's a pretty good one. I know people were talking about my mustache earlier. I used to hate facial hair, but it's grown on me.
That's a good one. You've had some good ones. Sorry, guys. That's as serious as we could be. Dustin had to leave because he was cracking up. Man, living. That's great. He comes back on right at the end. I mean, come on now. Man, how do you make a tissue dance?
Ooh, Robin Williams once said this.
Just put a little boogie in it.
Did you know?
How do you go to the bathroom in France?
How do you go to the bathroom?
Oh. European.
Did you know that milk is the fastest liquid on Earth? It pasteurized before you can even see it.
Why? Why does a duck have tail feathers? To cover its butt quack.
Why are spiders so smart? Because they can find everything on the web.
I'm so bad at this. I should have turned off the camera like Dustin did. There he goes again.
There you go.
Guys, thanks for watching. MD, you want to keep going? I mean, that was about as bad as I thought it was going to be when I suggested it.
It definitely. I mean, it was pretty bad. Just I got one more.
Surprisingly, our viewer retention maintained the whole way.
Like maintained, and it's gone up.
That's amazing.
I mean, this is the highest level quality entertainment we can offer.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that.
I think they've seen enough, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congrats to all of our winners at the modified all shot at Cedar. Go ahead, make sure that you get signed up. We have Brackenridge Park open for registration, individual stroke play, and double points at Willow on the 20th of August, individual stroke play open for registration. Be on the lookout for the next event opening as well. Be aware, look out for that on the newsletter coming up here this week. Thank you to Chris Dingman for joining the show, offering the free fitting and $100 credit towards some new Callaway equipment during a fitting process. And congrats to Tim Smith for winning with the phrase that pays. Straka confirmed, baby. DH, closing thoughts.
Listen, great show tonight. Congratulations to all our winners at Cedar. Congratulations, Tim. And I am just looking forward to I'm looking forward to Willow. That's what I'm looking ahead to. I'm looking ahead to Willow.
I'm excited for stroke play. Like, I love it. I love when it gets down to real golf deciding the point standings. I love that.
Absolutely
How
agreed.
do you organize a space party? You plan it.
Oh my God.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, you know what the best way to watch a fly fishing tournament is?
Curiosity.
Live stream.
Like we're gonna end the broadcast and then we're gonna do 10 more minutes of this.
I know it's gonna be so bad.
Guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. Appreciate you joining us. It is Tuesday night. It is 9:20. We appreciate you guys. We love you. We are excited to see you in a couple of weeks at BRAC. We will
Can't
see
wait to
you
go
next
back to BRAC.
week. Back to BRAC, baby. We will see you guys next Tuesday night. Everyone, have a great night. Stay safe. Get some good sleep. And have a good Wednesday and the rest of your week. We will see you soon.
STXamtour.golf. Sign up now.
Get signed up, guys. Have a good night.